Greeting you in the love and the light of the one infinite creator, here in humble gratitude and the best of our ability to be serving the positive polarity of this universe. I am here
Mhm.
representing MoonasMagica. My given name is Steven, and Moonas is the channel in which I share Tensor technology, um, basically as healing tools and organite, um, along with other creations and other modalities of sharing the divine light with creation. I'm here with my brother. I'm beginning the MoonasMagica podcast, and I've been getting the download for a while to start to share the word capital W, in different ways than just over Instagram stories. And I feel like taking the next step and yeah, just having conversations with brothers because and sisters. But if you look up like on YouTube, like scalar energy or organite or tensor technology, indeed there is information, but what I've integrated over the past couple years, I think that uh, it's worthy of sharing. And so this is episode 1 of the MoonasMagica podcast. And if you want to introduce yourself, brother, and what you do and the relationship with this technology and consciousness evolution. So please go ahead.
Nice. Okay. Sounds good. Nice. So my name is Kent, and I I am a human, a human sent here to spread love and light. And I found out about energy over COVID times. I got really sensitive to it because I was hanging out in our living room a lot, and we started turning off our Wi-Fi at night, and I would flick it off, and I would feel an energetic shift, like a piercing sound would disappear. So I started to like research energy a little bit and take it more seriously. And water was the first thing that I got into, structuring water. I got into that from Daryl Wolf, Doc of Detox. He's pretty cool. He's a doctor that sells crystals and good energy devices and stuff. And so I was structuring water and started feeling some energy flowing in my body. And at this time, I was actually a Christian. I had been Christian for about 2 years because I had some spiritual experiences where I was had some things happen, like I was caught by angels when I was falling down a set of stairs, and I saw two angels' faces there, and they held me for a moment and then let me fall in a much softer way than I would have fallen. And after that happened, I started seeking out spirituality, and so I found my wife's mother moved in with us at that time, and she was a Christian. And so I read the Bible, and a lot of it really resonated with me, like purity and stuff like that really resonated with me. I wanted to become a more pure person. And so um, after that, well, I was Christian for a while, and then what happened was is that I got into this water. I wanted to make myself healthy. I still had that drive in me to make myself healthy. I got that from a mushroom trip when I was 23. So I started drinking this water, feeling this energy, and then I decided to stroll into the crystal store one day, and this dude handed me a crystal called Yiming Zhu. It's a Chinese crystal. Have you ever heard of that crystal?
No.
Oh, dude, it's so magical. So, it's a man-made Chinese crystal that goes back thousands and thousands of years. Um, it glows in the dark all night long, like by its own power. They always do. They glow in the dark all night long. And they get extra charged up from sunlight and your own energy. And so he charged one up and put it in my hand, and I just felt this crazy electricity flow through my body. And I was like, oh man, this is the dopest. Uh, so I, so Christianity slowly went to the wayside after I found out about that. And like, I still love Christians. I still go hard for God, Jah, the creator, all things. But like, it, those people, I love them, but they just, they lack on the self-love.
Mm.
They don't, that's not part of their practice or what they talk about. I just want to talk about how we can love ourselves more so that we can love outwardly more. You know what I mean? And that's what Jesus was doing, obviously. But and then so I got into energy, but I also am a Pilates teacher and I own two Pilates studios. Um, And we started this a little while ago, like through some certain occurrences that happened in my life. I attracted a bunch of money to me basically throughout my life. I would hear someone say that they sued McDonald's or something for like falling in the parking lot. Okay.
Mm,
And every time I would hear someone say that, I would go, oh, I wish I could do that. I wish I could get a bunch of money for just falling outside of McDonald's. And then anyways, when I was 20, I think I was 27, I um I got thrown out of a bar with a beer bottle in my hand and it smashed in my hand and severed a bunch of tendons in my hand. And anyways, I got all stuck up in this lawsuit for a long time trying to get this money from this bar. And then I got a little bit of money and so I drew that to myself through wanting it. I can see that now clearly, you know. And then anyways, like Jaw gave it to me because he knew that I would do something good with it. And so we opened these Pilates studios. We went traveling for a little while. We saw Thailand and Southeast Asia and stuff. Such a beautiful place. Oh my God, gotta go there all the time.
mm,
And then we came back. We started our Pilates studios, and I was learning Pilates, like finally getting into like real good exercise. Like I was a gym goer, and then I started getting into like yoga and Pilates and stuff, more mind, body, spirit type exercise. And I was practicing and getting really good. And so I was feeling energy from that too. And then I started adding my energy devices into my studios. Okay, so I started putting my rings and stuff, make copper rings and stuff too, make orgonite and stuff. Started putting all those energy devices in my studios and also investing in other like crystals and man-made crystals and stuff like that. As much energy devices as I can pack in there because I started to realize after exercising with all these energy devices, these rings and stuff, that you take on a lot of that energy when you exercise with them.
mm.
And so the I have found like great success in these ladies coming in and riding on these machines, these reformer machines invented by Joseph Pilates. Um, they ride on them, they get a deep core activation, they lengthen their spine, which is one of the main things that's going to heighten your vibration, getting your
Mm.
posture up, and they absorb all this good energy and they leave and they spread that energy. It's dense. It's like they really take on a lot. People change after an hour of exercising in a room with a ton of pyramids and stuff, it's
Wow.
a I believe it's the future of exercise big time.
Wow.
Hmm.
That's incredible, brother.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I don't get to talk to many people about this at all, you know what I mean? But it's just like this is the truth. This is the way it is. But people are just like they don't understand energy too much, so
Right, 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 right. So, okay, so yeah, that's the first time I heard the tensor tech and the orgonite being utilized in a Pilates studio, but yeah, the relationship to exercise and
hmm.
interesting. So uh do these beings do they feel a difference, like, or they're not even aware that they're this type?
Massive, massive difference. They're totally different when they leave.
Oh
Completely.
wow, okay. and
Like
and
it's like a giant Reiki session, like just like so much love. And the whole room's just resonating with pure loving vibration. It's wonderful.
right, right, okay, so
Yeah.
the giant Reiki session. So in Slim Sperling's universe, which for anybody listening, Slim Sperling is the wizard, the being that brought in this tensor technology, at least this time around, as this technology has been here before, and probably people that have been creating this but just aren't known. But Slim Sperling was the fellow, and there's a book called Slim Sperling's Universe. So if anybody is interested in this, I would highly recommend. And you can always email or find ways to get in touch, and I can send you the PDF of this book, or you can simply just Google Slim Sperling's Universe PDF, and you can read this. And in that book, there's this section that stood out to me, and that was like Reiki healing, and I'm not sure who exactly it was, but it was one of these brothers, these scientists that was working with Slim, and uh, he was shocked of how powerful these rings are.
Yeah.
And then in relation to Reiki, there was this statistic about like something about 400 times
Woo.
the power in this book. It said that, and that always shocks me because the mind still like doubts that. But I mean, it says it. I can find the sentence where it talks about the 400 times power than like regular like Reiki session. So
Ah,
the way that this the way that this like amplifies like our
gee,
energy, yeah, our chi, and like it's just blasting
that's it.
this healing energy. So right here I got the half sacred. So um yeah, maybe feel like asking you some more questions.
Go for it.
So you make the organite pyramids too, eh? With the PVC pipe?
No, no, the organite pyramids aren't with the PVC pipe. Those are just PVC pipe pyramids.
Oh, sorry. Excuse me. Yeah, just the PVCs, the orgone. So yeah, how is that? Like you have this at your home?
Yeah, I really like them, man. Like it's the 76.345 angle. Um, it's like a really high vibrational angle. They call it the Stargate pyramid.
Hmm.
Um, and you can make them with the PVC pipe. And I have found, and also like I have found that the energy is amazing. And um, this angle has been used in like many churches and stuff, and the
Hmm.
steeples and stuff. If you watch videos about it, like this is like well known across the world that this is a frequency that can bring in angels, this specific angle. And it's actually mentioned in the law of one. I can't remember, at some point they just say use a pyramid at a higher angle than 75.
Seriously.
Somewhere in the law of one it says that. David Wilcock said that.
Interesting.
And yeah, they just said use a pyramid that is higher angle than 75, kind of like a teepee, you know what I mean? And then just give her. But they have specifically attuned it with the 76.345 angle, that it is like it's a dope angle, man. I connect to my past lives like infinitely. I have an Indian version of myself that lived in the past and was worked in the circus and tumbled with dogs. And he got to a very wise and calm state. And he talks to me all the time. After the pyramids, we chat, and we can just roll together. And
Ah,
it's
interesting, brother.
they're divine pyramids that, and they're so cheap to make, $100, you know?
Right. So yeah, I want to ask you about that PVC because Will that's where you heard from brother David Wilcox, and why exactly instead of building the copper or the pyramids with like different material, if you use like copper pipes and then you have a different maybe like a capstone, like why
Yeah.
is the simple PVC? Because I know Alexander Golod made that large pyramid in Russia,
Hmm.
which Wilcox talks about out of pure PVC pipe. So what do you know about that, and why do we just use such a simple ingredient you could get at a hardware store? And is it mostly about the angle rather than the
The angle and the geometry. Exactly.
yeah, cool.
Uh-huh.
And what
Yeah,
is
I'll
it?
tell you.
Yeah,
Go
go
for it.
ahead.
Okay, so the metals, what they do is they conduct electricity, so the energy flows in a certain way, whereas a PVC pipe doesn't conduct energy. You know what I mean? The energy doesn't move through it, but all copper devices have this energy that moves in a certain direction and a polarity. So it disrupts the flow of the pyramid.
Hmm.
Um, and you want like either rocks, pure rocks, obviously, like crystal pyramids are amazing, you know what I mean? That's a non-conductive thing, but it has a ton of energy. The PVC pipe is just a testament to the fact that it's purely geometry. You know
Mm,
what I mean? That stuff doesn't resonate at all if it's just lying there. But then you put it up like that and it's resonating with beautiful purple energy.
mm. Wow, brother. Interesting.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so let's talk about some of the healing benefits of, plopping your vessel in this pyramid and sitting in there and uh doing some, whether it's breath work or meditation or simply just relaxing in the calmness of the I am presence. Like what the healing benefits have you seen comparing it to just, sitting meditating on the couch?
Hmm. Yeah, it just gives you something to aspire to. It shows you a frequency that's higher than your own body and says, "Can you reach me? Can I get to that frequency?" You know what I mean? And what you have to do is love the pyramid that is around you or love the ring that is in your hand. And that is the only way that you can truly connect to it. And then once you love it, you will reach a higher frequency in your body and you'll find that your spine will align to more proper alignment, and then energy will start flowing up your spine and your kundalini will awaken. And if you keep pushing it and you keep raising the vibes, then you'll start having crazy orgasms, and you can sit there for like as long as you want, just having wild orgasms through your whole body in a totally ecstatic state just from one of these pyramids.
Interesting. Yeah,
And
so
that's just releasing all the tension in the body, you know what I mean? It's just like it's pumping tons of energy through the body. That's why you can't even slow down those orgasms, you know what I mean?
ah,
It's
interesting.
just tons of energy that you can't even control.
Right, right. So in a sense, the vibrational frequency of like bliss or ecstasy, this
Mm,
is what like an orgasm is.
mhm.
It's not necessarily through the genitals. An orgasm is a vibrational frequency that we can attune to through um, through spiritual practice, and this in a sense is the state of, what all the spiritual traditions are talking about, which is union with God, which is also what yoga means, right? Union.
Mm,
But
mm,
to whom is to unify with what is the question. And just sharing a little bit about um, my my history about this technology is that I come from uh,
mm.
the teachings of Sri Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi and teachers like Nisargadatta Maharaj, who were called by others non-dual sages or masters. And I relate to these masters because they were around recently, and
Cool.
their teachings are still pure and fresh, compared to a sage that might have been living thousands of years ago, where eventually, just like broken telephone, messages get distorted. But there is fresh writings, and there's a book called I Am That, which is actually a transcript of, Nisargadatta speaking. And then Ramana, there's actually pure teachings of his, like the Nanyar, or Who Am I? And he has other he written teachings. And why I say all this is because non-duality, to me, and the teachings of self-inquiry is what got me to the realization that I am, and that is the being consciousness bliss. And through this, you have no choice but to serve the creator, because you've become the creator, because the idea that you are a separate self, which is the illusion of the ego, dissolves each time a thought disappears. And because the mind is a mirage and it only appears when we give attention to it, um, we can actually indeed sit here and ask ourselves, who am I? And realize that we exist prior to thinking. And that itself is the state or the silence of the self, which is eternally realized. So the mind will never get realized because, from the perspective of spiritual awakening, it's the only obstacle. So going into these teachings and realizing that yes, this is true, I am awareness or I am consciousness, I was like, all right, well, how do I serve? Because I saw that being on this earth right now is a little bit of a hell realm if you're not serving, and literally utilizing every moment to find ways to give love. And so I went to the holistic school in Toronto, Ontario, and
Cool.
it's called Transformational Arts College. And uh, like about halfway through the year, this being came and sat beside me, and right away
What?
I knew that she was important in my life. And basically, I drove her home because I was, interested in connecting with her. And she came outside and brought a tensor ring and said, she handed it to me as if, like, in this magical way that I had no idea about yet. And so I put it away. Um, and the uh she would show me videos of Slim, like, speaking about these rings, and eventually it cracked open when I started to see this fellow brother Gaia, who you might be aware of. And
Yeah, yeah, he's sick.
yeah, he's a great teacher and guide. So I saw him twisting the rings, and I
Cool.
started to learn about, you know, first of all, what exactly is going on. And I just, like, felt so called, being thy will be done, to basically quit my jobs and just to go full on and, start an Etsy, and just really, like, learn and teach oneself, and everything twisted sage, and just go into all these teachers and literally, like, inhale all the knowledge. And this is, wow, like, creating them. And then I say all this because it's all a part of non-duality, because everything is non-duality in reality, because from a higher uh, understanding of life is that this is quantum, this is non-linear. It's not black and white like the ego mind will ever put it. And in fact,
Ego mind. Okay.
it's so much more magical than the mind can ever fathom. And that's kind of where, like, MoonasMagica comes in, is that Moona means silence in Sanskrit. So Ramana would say, like, Moona is the highest truth, and that's silence. And then magic, speaks for itself. But let's get back to the ring, and the magic of the ring, and how there's a certain being that will resonate with this technology. And it's so, like Slim said, elegant simplicity, or one of these fellows. And it's almost mind-blowing how this simple copper ring can be so powerful, and have so much more to it than just the twisted copper, and cutting it to the qubit, and then merging it and creating this really non-dual pillar or column of light, or this beam
Mm-hmm.
of light energy. So uh,
Hmm.
is there anything you want to share about, in relation to true magic, and what is magic to you, and how does that relate to just having a tensor ring, like, around you or in your pocket? How, on a day-to-day basis, like, how does this affect you positively?
Oh, massively. It's like my food. I run on it. You know what I mean? I run on this energy way more than food, you
Mm,
know? And they are magic. Like you can write down the words of something. You can write down like coconut oil and then put it in the sacred cubit, and you can feel the energy. If you're sensitive, you can feel the energy of coconut oil coming off of it just from your intention. You can you can leave your fingernail inside of a tensor ring, and you will feel that energy all day. If you leave it with a crystal and your DNA on that, you're connecting quantumly to it through your DNA, and you will feel that crystal all the time. If you write down some messages on that crystal, those messages will constantly be um, pushed back to you through the quantum energy. You know what I mean? And you can really like expand your mind through telepathic nature and lucid dreaming and stuff by just writing down some intention, keeping it with your DNA on a crystal in the ring. It's crazy.
Mm.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, I know about that. Yeah, so in regards
Nice.
to the ring and like structured water, like I know that's one of the first aspects that I teach people about is like what's your connection with water? Like for you, how do you connect with water utilizing the rings?
Big time, man. It's wild what you can do with the rings and water. Um, I have found the best way to charge your energy with the rings, in my opinion, is to place the water in the rings, obviously. And then if it's a glass jar, take like a metal spoon, but I think a wooden spoon probably works better, and tap on that jar up and down. And the sound of the water communicates to it the same way that like Slim Sperling's CD or whatever with the sound of the waterfall or whatever.
Right.
It communicates in that same way, and it charges up the rings, gives them good energy, and then it structures the water. And those tones that you hear as you go up and down the thing, they get tossed into it too. And you'll feel as you tap up and down that jar that it's communicating with your different chakras. The lower the jar, and this happens for some reason with me. I can feel it with every glass jar, any glass jar, doesn't matter what it is. Tap at the bottom, I can feel it in my root chakra. Tap all the way up, you can feel it coming up through your neck and up through the top of your head. It's very interesting, and I really wanted to like start a healing class where I like a sound bowl healing where I would do it with the rings and the water because I can
Wow.
the energy is quite powerful. Uh-huh.
Interesting, brother. If you do one of those classes, I gotta fly up to Lindsay.
Yeah.
Yeah, truly, truly, truly. Yeah, yeah, the water's powerful
Oh,
uh
it's the best.
in the way that the rings uh yeah, basically like the the way that the way that I utilize the rings and water is well I it like I haven't it's crazy how they've like not taken over my life but added to my life, like the amount of
Oh yeah.
rings I've manifested in the past 2 years is thousands and thousands, and the amount I've given out is thousands. Like I'm telling you, I was walking downtown 2 days ago,
Uh-huh.
and I'm literally like it's a magic show. Like I tell a
So
brother,
sick.
I'm like, how do I give love right now? I look
Yeah.
left. There's a sister there that's like, oh, I want a ring from you. I'm telling you, this happened instantaneously. And then
Yeah.
she was with 10 people, and I literally took out the bag. Like I got like I'm literally like this cosmic magician, and and I'm like I'm handing out rings like it's Halloween, like trick like, and it's literally like okay, here we go. But yeah, and I'm just like, please take this, like you deserve this, you know. And it's like the magic of like giving and loving, and how like if somebody gets a ring from me, they
Yeah.
get way more than a ring, brother. Like they it's not even about the like it's about the ring, but it's about the consciousness behind it. And I'm like, wow, like this being really just, ordered a ring and is so grateful. Like, and I just feel like it's just giving more and like letting them know how abundant they are in love, and in love from the creator. And that's one of the like the magic of this is it just naturally happened, but that yeah, just in relation to just like walking around the streets, and then like the same day, it was a couple hours later, like I'm at the street corner with a brother and I made this staff for him with a harmonizer on the top. And he walks around the city of Toronto like with this. So like it's people, people that have a little bit of an idea of what's going on, like they're really curious. So
Yeah,
his brother stopped in his car and he's like, "Yo, I saw you yesterday or whatever." And I pull out a harmonizer from my bag. I'm like, "Brother, take this," like through the car window, just that's just what like was happening. And to me, like the ego mind will be like, "Oh, what are you doing?" Like, like you gotta save that, like you gotta make some money. But bro,
yeah.
the way that this is going, it's
Uh-huh.
like the amount of real abundance that is flowing through with this technology is like just the ripple effect is what I'm talking about. Like the
Yeah.
ripple effect into the cornerstones of the cosmos of it's just way beyond. And yeah, but yeah, I was talking about water. I got a little lost, but hey, that is water. It's the fluidity of moving as a as a creator. And
The love, though, the love is magical. It truly is. That
it
you receive
truly
putting these things out, the love comes back. It makes life so full of synchronicities and amazing
exactly.
thing. Like life is just wonderful, man. I feel like I'm in heaven and I'm just protected through energy. You know what I mean? Like it's just we're here to be stimulated in a positive fashion at all times. There's no reason not to be. It's like and reality just gets yeah, it's divine. It's love and it's magic. But water truly is the most high vibrational thing there is in this reality,
Hmm,
like a physical thing in this reality. It's the only thing that can hold love, um, to hold the whole or hold a I don't know what I mean to say by that, but it holds a large expression of love anyways. Water does. And it's the only thing other than us is what I mean to say. The only thing other than a heart that can hold the frequency of love within it. And it's an interdimensional it's a galactic stargate in itself.
hmm.
You know, if you can charge up your water to an extremely high vibration, this is one of the main ways that you are going to be able to attune yourself to being able to communicate with like the galactic confederation and stuff like that is
Hmm.
through water. It's we're 80% water, you know what I mean? So it's like the water is just so powerful. You can protect yourself fully, really not fully, but you can protect yourself quite powerfully from just focusing on structuring your water and just drinking structured water all day long and energized water.
Hmm.
So yeah, water is just so important and powerful and
Indeed, brother. I've seen you. I've heard that, like the whole structured water. Like, what uh, to you? What exactly is that? And I know that from my experience, I can structure water with my mind and my hands and
hells
my
yeah, hells yeah.
my intention. So that in itself, because ultimately we are the divine technology. Our heart is everything. And but uh how how do you see structured water? What exactly does that mean to you?
I don't really care much for science and stuff, but the
Right.
molecules are organized in a specific pattern. And what structuring does is it removes the memory from the water. So water remembers everything that it picks up and
Interesting.
that happens around it. It takes it all on. And the only way to remove all of the old frequencies from water and reset it back to its natural energetics is to vortex structure it. So the water's got to go back and forth and vortex in both ways. And um, that's to me is the only way to truly remove all the frequencies. Like with the rings and stuff, I have drank some really good water from it, but I do notice that the old frequencies are still there. I can feel them. Um, and so I do believe that the only way to truly negate the frequencies, other than our human heart, which has infinite potential to do with your hands and stuff, you can fully do it,
Mhm.
but it's double vortexing it. And the heart is a double vortex energy too. Like
Yeah.
everything is a vortex, right? So, um, Yeah, it's you can use these little funnels with marbles in them, and the water goes back and forth and meanders through it. And the reason why that is the way is because that's how nature does it. When water goes down a stream, it meanders back and forth and it vortexes back and forth. You can see the stream as it moves.
Mm,
And then water as it comes up through a spring, it also vortexes as it comes up. That's what keeps the energy coming up through the mountain, you know?
mm,
And so it resets its own energy in that way. And then after it's been structured and the memory's gone, it's definitely a more higher vibrational thing. Um, but then you can use crystals and rings and pyramids and stuff like that to charge it more,
mm,
you know, to charge it up, to raise its frequency to like wherever you want to take it.
mm. Yes, brother.
Hmm.
Yes. So
It
we
makes it like spring water.
like spring water.
Like actual, like structured water is very similar to spring water. It resets it to a more state like that, and you can take any like tap water and vortex it through a funnel with a bunch of marbles in it, and it really does reset it, and it feels more like it tastes more like spring water.
Mm, yes.
You know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, beautiful. So we have 2.5 minutes here. I'm definitely going to upgrade to for episode two. But what we can do is if we want to continue, um, we can, go into a part two of this. Take like a little couple minute intermission. I don't know. How are you feeling? Do you feel sufficient, or is there more things that your being is called to want to share and express?
Hmm. I received a few downloads while I was meditating in my pyramid. I think I said them all though. I think I was
Yeah,
told everything I was supposed to say, and I think I said them all. Um, that was good. I like that.
yeah, that
Yeah,
feels good, brother.
yeah. We
Yeah,
could do that again for sure. I'm down.
cool. Yeah, every moment is fresh. So we have a minute and a half. Like, if you want to share a little message before we leave our fellows in the love and light of the one infinite creator, is there any last things you want to say?
No, I think you summed it up the same way that I would want to sum it up. Definitely. Keep spreading that love and light.
All right, family. Thank you everybody for tuning in. This is only the beginning. This podcast is envisioned to become something as a great a great medium for us to share the message of unity and positive polarization. Um, and we leave you in the love and the light of the one infinite creator. Peace, harmony, balance. Adonai, family.
I deny, brother.
Shanti, Shanti, peace, peace.
Peace, brother.